starting out on a big ride, but I wanted to show you something about here. Starting here, it was full of cops, big black SUVs, and they were all very concerned. I had no idea what was going on, but apparently they found a decomposing body right over here inside of these woods. I never paid much attention to it, but there's quite a bit of land here, and they were right over here, like over here. I don't see any more police tape, but this part is a little bit more open. There's like something on the ground there. I remember I ride here a lot, so I remember seeing a homeless guy. He used to sit down here, and then 2 weeks ago I stopped seeing him, and I think it might be him, because there's quite a bit of woods back here that is very hidden. This is such a great view. The Wilson Bridge, there's just so much to it. If you ever come to the Wilson Bridge on the trail, you have a great view of Washington, D.C. and Alexandria and Maryland, all in one. Old Town, Alexandria. This is a great area. You gotta watch out for the stop signs though. We're just gonna take some residential zones west, east, I think. Alright, let's see what this lady's doing. Oh God. You never know. Never know what they're doing. Alrighty, we're crossing over into Washington on 14th Street. I'm already smelling the weed in the air. Wow, Washington, D.C. is just so empty. You know, at this point you want to hug this side, which is the sidewalk, but it becomes the trail. This is Rockcreek. We're going to be going through the Kennedy Center. New volleyball courts are coming. How's it going? This section is completely new. Look at this. Before you had to go under the bridge, and now you have this tunnel under the Roosevelt Bridge. Really fancy. They're doing a lot of work to the bike trails. I remember riding by here. It was so bumpy and very narrow. You have to watch out for people. It was a death trap for pedestrians, even worse for road bikers. But now it's so smooth. Amazing. They are making this so much nicer to ride. 10 years ago you went through here and it was just falling apart. You know, I have this theory about the homeless. The tents are new, but the homeless guys before, they would just sleep in park benches. But now, they're sleeping in tents, so they have shelter, so it looks messier to people like us. So this is just Rockcreek Park. This is traffic going into Washington, and we're going out towards the zoo. There we go, barbecuing. Look at the width of this. This used to be the width of the trail back there. And I can't imagine that they're going to keep it this narrow. Here we go. They've already cleaned this part up. This section of the trail was a lot rougher. Oh. This part is always a little dangerous. This particular part I used to commute all the time. It was so dangerous. The National Zoo is to the left, but you can't come in through this way anymore. You'd have to go in through 17th Street. This extension used to be all unpaved, and now they're rebuilding it. There we go. So this is Beach Drive right here, and we are going to be able to go on the entire road. To the left is an alternative to Beach Drive, and it's a lot hillier. You can kind of do loops. I had a girlfriend that kept going on this street, and then there's the barriers for closing. She hit it, and it was a horrific crash right over there. She just went straight into those bars instead of going in the middle. Of course, she blamed me. It was just a crossover into Maryland from DC. You have to do this entire thing. Jesus. Parking Silver Spring, the downtown. I've always liked it, but it's gotten very expensive. You know, one of the issues with riding on these sidewalks, especially like towards the suburbs, is that people don't really pay attention to, especially cyclists on the sidewalk. So you have to be extremely careful for cars that are coming out of any driveway. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but I also don't want to be riding on this road, which is Route 29. Just a little detour on Sligo Creek. This area is pretty interesting of Silver Spring. There's a guy over there with a Rivian electric truck. That is pretty fancy. A little shortcut into the shopping center. Dangerous sidewalk riding, but certain parts of Maryland you just got to do it. It's kind of amazing that they don't have a sidewalk on the other side of the road. You know, sometimes I wonder who plans these roads, because they plan them really well when they're inside of DC for people that are extremely affluent. But when it comes to the outskirts, they just kind of leave people. The poorer the area, the less they get with road funding. Thanks, lady. You really have to watch out for these people. Sometimes they don't see you. I think there was a shooting right here at this very spot. You know, you never hear about people getting caught. You always hear about the crime and that they're looking for somebody, but they never find the person. You're seers. I mean, this thing, there's been multiple shootouts in this particular area. It's a little bit down in their luck area. This is a closed roadway, bridge that goes into the neighborhoods. Connect. There's a trail over there. That is interesting. Let me go check that out. There is a trail. What is this trail? That is, I gotta check this out. It's a hiking biking trail. Holy cow. This is a new trail. Last time I was here, this wasn't here. I have noticed that there's been trucks from the county working here, but this is really interesting. This is going towards Route 29. Wow. Now this bike is a hybrid, not really good for this sort of stuff. Oh, this goes underneath Route 29. Oh, look at this. Oh, shit, this bike does not like this. Wow. Route 29 is up above us. I'm gonna have to check this out. This is called the 29er Trail. Shit. Oh, man. And it just keeps going. Look at this. A little tree down, but I'm gonna have to check this out again. Pretty steep climb, especially on this bike. No traction at all. Look at what the county did here with the walls. They just put a bunch of rocks as retaining walls. Around here, nobody uses the sidewalk. What confuses me are the runners that don't want to use the sidewalk. They want to use the road, and they're jogging the opposite way. I don't understand those guys at all. That would be the last thing I would ever want to do. Alright, that's pretty much the ride for today, guys.